Look how low those clouds are. I mean, these are really low clouds. That Laurie McBride is so obvious. Lord, we really need to take this person down, man. She's making everybody sick with this. Look how low those clouds are. This is the far away view. Look at that. I've never seen such low clouds. This has got to be the world record for the lowest lying clouds I've ever seen. She's come up with some weird bomb. Look how low that is. The cloud should be up there. That is super low. Those aren't clouds, those are bombs. Look at that, look at that swirl there. Those bombs are weird. See that? Do you see the swirls right there? It's like she's launching the bombs parallel to the ground. That's what it looks like she's doing. These are very low-lying clouds too. This is the far-away view. Take a look at that. Look at those lines. Weird bombs. I have had personal experience with Candida auris. This germ is like no other. I've noticed that for a while, about a month ago, I experienced heart palpitations, arrhythmias from Candida auris. Because Laurie McBride's bombs have been dropped over my head like a blitzkrieg, why does Candida auris attack the organs like the heart? Well, I'd be dead today from Candida auris if not for Seroquel. The way I dealt with the arrhythmias is I just kept taking my Seroquel and drank lots of water and did extra aerobic walking to get my blood moving to help the Seroquel deal with Candida auris, and I'm pleased to report that the arrhythmias are much better. Perhaps I wasn't drinking enough water. The news and the FDA are covering up a massive Candida auris pandemic. I've been infected with Candida auris for most of my life. Therefore, I've become an expert on Candida auris. The reason Candida auris is attracted to heart tissue is the same reason it's attracted to liver tissue. Elemental iron is one of its chief foods. Before I got on Seroquel, which is the cure to Candida auris, I constantly suffered from iron deficiency anemia. Not only is iron one of its chief foods, but this germ has been bioengineered to require the same nutrients that humans require. This includes iron. I know for a fact that iron is one of Candida auris's chief foods. I constantly suffered from iron deficiency anemia while infected with Candida auris before I got on Seroquel. The doctors treating COVID-19 patients are now claiming that many patients don't really survive COVID without serious damage to the heart, lungs, and other organs like the liver and brain. That's because the germ is not COVID-19 that's killing these people. It's Candida auris. Like I said, Candida auris requires the same nutrients that humans require, so it literally eats you alive. Laurie McBride may be putting COVID-19 into her bombs along with Candida auris to cover up what she's doing with Candida auris. It's to distract away from Candida auris, which is the real killer. This explains why, before I got on Seroquel, I could eat like a pig and be so skinny I looked anorexic. Candida auris had infected all my organs, so that I sustained liver damage, gallbladder damage, heart damage with constant arrhythmias, brain damage, nervous system damage, intestinal damage. The germ was literally eating me alive. My body was its food. I kept myself alive by lots of vitamin mineral supplementation and taking stuff to improve liver function to help my body flush out the germ. But it was a losing battle. And I'm certain that if Jesus did not put me on Seroquel in 2012, I may not be alive to write this today. Candida auris, when it becomes systemic, like what happened to me, has a 60% mortality rate. In fact, Vladimir Putin's first wife, Larissa, died from Candida auris in 2000. Vladimir did not figure out until it was too late that his dear wife did not have breast cancer, but had Candida auris. By the time they figured it out, it was too late. The chemotherapy they used on Larissa caused her Candida auris infection to become rampant because the chemotherapy weakens your immune system, so she died in 2000. The germ literally ate away her body so that her breasts became blackened heaps. When the Jesuits bioengineered this germ in their laboratories, they wanted to create a germ that would kill me, but do it in a manner to make me appear crazy and claim that I died because I was crazy. For this reason, they put Candida auris in their germ bombs and used it to sicken me, and nobody in mainstream media has been reporting on the Candida auris pandemic that Laurie McBride has orchestrated because of her bombs filled with Candida auris that she drops worldwide, and most especially in Florida, where I live. Because Laurie McBride's bombs have been dropped all over Florida, that is why Florida has had such a spike in COVID-19. These dear patients dying from COVID-19 have been misdiagnosed. They have really died from Candida auris. Come on, folks. When have you heard of a virus that behaves like this one does? It's not a virus. It's a deadly super yeast, a bioengineered germ designed to kill me that Laurie McBride decided to use on the general population, and she's covering it up by ordering hospitals and doctors to not report on Candida auris and to not report on her germ bombs being dropped over your head daily. Because Candida auris was bioengineered by Jesuits and they control the news media, it is the unreported pandemic of our times. Folks, I believe that most of the fatalities involving COVID-19 are actually caused by Candida auris. I mean, who ever heard of a coronavirus that destroys your heart? However, Candida auris has a history of causing organ damage in its victims. That's because Candida auris requires the same nutrients that humans require. This super yeast views the human body as food. That's why when you kill Candida auris, it only fertilizes any germs remaining in its vicinity, because the germ's own toxins are its own food. It eats its own poop. This is why, even though I took nystatin, diflucan, amphotericin, and yeast-killing medications, I could never get rid of the yeast infection. That's why it's so deadly once you're infected with it. Amphotericin worked the best before I got on Seroquel. It's a human bioengineered germ, which is why you're not hearing about it. Well, I've been sick with this germ most of my life, and my husband, Brent Spiner, is a doctor, a physician, and he says that what I've just told you about this germ is 100% accurate. Brent Spiner, MD, is a graduate of UCLA Medical School, one of the top medical schools in the country, and practices medicine at Church of Gale. The reason people are getting upper respiratory symptoms with Candida auris is because they are contracting it by breathing it in the air around them. You see, Laurie is infecting everyone by her bombs, and so people are breathing in the air around them filled with germs, so the lungs would be the first part of their body to get sick. Once the infection becomes entrenched, it would move onto the organs that are loaded with the nutrients it requires, like iron, so the heart and liver would probably be next. Once the liver gets infected, this affects the body's ability to detox and makes it harder for the body to get rid of the germ. So an infected liver with Candida auris is a death sentence, especially if you don't understand this germ and if you don't start strengthening liver function and strengthening the body's ability to detox. Seroquel works by helping the body to detox and by flushing out all the toxins that feed the germ. So basically, Seroquel works by starving the germ out and flushing it out of your body. That's why it's important, even if you're on Seroquel, to walk and get your blood moving and to eat a balanced diet. I'm coughing from her germs. And to eat a balanced diet and drink plenty of water. Oh, those germ bombs are terrible. You also do not want to take nutritional supplements because remember, this germ needs the same nutrients the human body needs. I'm coughing from the germs. I'm allergic to yeast toxin too. I've developed an allergy to yeast toxin because I've had this infection for so long. Taking nutritional supplements would only feed the germs. The best way to deal with Candida auris is to do the Gale commandments. Jesus understands this germ and created the Gale commandments to deal with it. If not for Jesus, his Seroquel, and his Gale commandments, Lori McBride would have successfully destroyed me using her evil invention, Candida auris, and she would have done it in a manner to make me appear crazy, since no one's reporting on the true pandemic of our time, and nobody is reporting on Seroquel as the only cure and how this germ works. Now, all of a sudden, doctors are discovering that COVID-19 destroys organs. Well, if Lori would stop dropping her bombs, like what just made me cough, so that people could get over their Candida auris infections, then perhaps their organs would not be destroyed. Everyone needs to get on Seroquel. Contact my men at Gailsmen, GAILSMEN, at yahoo.com if you're not on Seroquel. Check the link underneath this page. I have a transcript of this very important video underneath. I've created a web page. If you would like to help us defeat Lori McBride militarily, also contact my men at Gailsmen at yahoo.com.